This LA Rams team preview edition of the Sports Gambling Podcast is brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog is giving away $15 million in Best Ball Mania 5. Sign up with SGPN to claim your first time deposit offer up to $250 in bonus cash. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. Rhythm's college football and NFL picks and projections are now live. Claim your 7-day free trial today by going to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM.
Hey, this is John Sally, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Cox. He's one of those guys who will get penetration.
Welcome everyone to the Sports Gambling Podcast. I'm Sean, stacking the money green with my partner in picks, Ryan, Real Money Kramer. What's happening, Kram?
Dog.
Just ram it, Sean.
Just ram it. And you know me, just ram it.
I feel like we didn't play that last year.
No. RAM. Maybe we'll get that just ram it song going. Feel free to track that down, Ryan.
Oh, I don't have to track it down.
Oh, you have it.
Yeah, of course.
Oh, okay. Well, let's hear get in a ramming mood.
We're not gonna. Do we want to show the video?
Yeah, why not?
All right, let me. It's because I got it, Josh. It's probably worth the companion, I think. All right, let me see if this will just. This should work if I just go like this. All right, I think this should work. Josh, if you could throw what I just put on screen there.
Here we go.
All right,
let's get pumped.
No. Whoa. There it is. Wait. It's like
seamless.
It's doing some weird echo. Hold on, I'll figure that out. We'll come back to it.
All right. While you're figuring that out, Ryan, I'm going to remind people to continue writing down the phrase that pays. We give out one word of the phrase per day, per team preview. We have 32 team previews. We're doing 2-3 a day to make sure we get them all out. We just did the Jaguars team preview last. Today's word, the episode 4, the Rams team preview. Well, WELL is the word of this team preview. So make sure you jot that down. Send in all 32 words in order over to we will. Oh, here we go.
So no, hold on. Sorry, teaser. keep going, Sean.
Send all 32 words in, and one lucky winner will get a $500 NFL Circuit future. Love that. And, yeah, maybe you put it on a Rams. Maybe put it on a Rams future. Rams Super Bowl. Do you believe, right?
I don't know about the Rams.
ZD Mills saying Rams going to get rammed in the D week 1, baby.
Right in the butt.
Yeah, well, I think the big story. Well, we'll obviously do big picture stuff, but the big story right now with this Rams team is unfortunately a ton of injuries piling up for them, including Puka Nacua, who is now week to week. They've had a bunch of offensive line injuries, so that kind of makes it tough to do this preview right now with so many injuries because I do think it's going to impact them.
Sean, they were literally the healthiest team last year. The preview last year was, well, if this team stays healthy,
and they did,
this could be something. But if they're so fragile, they're so thin at the top. If they don't stay healthy,
very veteran team,
the bottom can really fall out. They were really helped by we nailed it draft class.
Yeah.
And you think about what had to happen for all of that to go right. And the more that I sunk into this team, the more that I was like, oof, like they avoided it for a whole season last year. They hit the ceiling case last year, and now we're going back into a season where we know we won't have Aaron Donald. we were excited about another draft class because of how well the one previous was, but there's no guarantee they had the same level of success
But
there.
you do have rookie defensive lineman Kobe Turner and Bryant Young, who had a very good season last year. Them
Playing
taking
next to Aaron Donald,
right, but also them in year 2 of the system taking a leap from when they're rookies. I don't think that's crazy to project. They improved there, and they were really had a bunch of bad luck. They missed 4 extra points and 11 field goals, most in the NFL since 2015. So some of their injury luck seems to be breaking already in a bad way, and but maybe some of their kicking luck comes back to them. Ryan, the anticipation is killing the audience. Do we have the Ram It song?
Yeah, we do. It should work now.
Okay, now let's listen to Just Ram It.
Assuming this will work.
Hey, hey,
No.
hey, hey,
Okay.
hey, 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 hey. Ram it. Do you know how to ram it? Let's ram it. Yeah, we know how to ram it.
This video is so great, and they give everyone a verse too. Like, look how long it is. 5 minutes and 24 seconds. We'll let a couple of the rap verses flow through. Look at these guys.
Big Bad Jackie.
This is Big Bad Jackie and I'm starting this off. The Rams getting down so nobody scoff. And don't you worry cause the Rams are rapping. When game time comes, we'll be back to Jackson. We can't sing and our dance is not pretty, but we'll do our best for the team and the city. So get on your feet and clap your hands. Let's ram it right now with the LA Rams.
Hollywood handsome, Dodge City tough. If you throw it my way, it's gonna get rough. I like to ram it, as you can see. Nobody likes ramming any more than me.
They call me Jigger, nobody does it sweeter. But under this cool is a quarterback mistreater. I come from the end, looking for the sack. I don't stop coming till I put him on the back. This is limousine winning, my moves are like dreams. They call me the demon on special teams. I know how to rock it from the toes to the head. When I pull the trigger, I'll knock you dead.
I'm a mountain man from West VA. They call me Herc and I came to play. I learned long ago to ram it just right. You can ram it all day and ram it all night.
Wow, what were they alluding to with ram it all day, ram it all night?
There's a lot of
He's
sexual.
one of those guys who will get penetration.
A lot of sexual innuendo there. I mean, and honestly, like, I think every member of the defense gets Dodge City tough.
Yeah.
I like that.
Like it. All right, let's take a look at the Rams last year, who certainly did ram it. I know I was ahead of market. Kramer also on the over win total. Their win total was only 6.5. They went 10-7 straight up. They had a chance to beat the Lions in that playoff game. 10-6-1 ATS. So I feel like I was on them a bunch, and they were really helped me out betting wise. But yeah, so we both got those over right. Bringing our records now to 9-5 and 8-6 for you, Kramer, on the win totals. -3 turnover margin, so maybe that bounces back a little bit. Their offensive DVOA 7th, defensive DVOA 17th. Overall, or sorry, their overall was 17, defense down to 22. And yeah, losing. I did see in the Rams subreddit, someone wrote, "I don't see Aaron Donald on the top 100 players list." And just the first comment was, "Oh boy, do I have some bad news for you." Yeah, I mean, losing Aaron Donald, that's got to be huge, right? I mean, they did do a good job with Kobe Turner, with Bryant Young, but it's a huge projection.
I think
and their special teams are really bad. Like I mentioned with the extra points and kicking. I mean, some places have them ranked 32nd. So you would think some of that bounces back up. Puka Nacua year 2, but again, Puka Nacua dealing with a knee injury that's week to week. Cooper Kupp has had trouble staying healthy over the years, and then Matt Stafford. Granted, I think Jimmy G probably a step up from some of the. Although they had Baker not too long ago, Carson Wentz.
Here's what I would say. Let's start with the kicking stuff, the special teams, because I wonder if the kickers even made the graphic of players in and players out, because what I want to give a little trivia for you, Sean. Can you name either of the kickers in camp with the Rams?
No.
So why are we sure this situation has been fixed?
Never.
Do you see? I wonder if Josh Carty made the list here. I believe he
did. Drafted out of Stanford.
Yep. All right. So we got a Stanford kicker, and then we got Tanner Brown, who from what I can tell, Oklahoma State looks like a free agent last year.
I do like what they did in the draft. I mean, loading up on defensive line, Jared Verse, Braden Fiske, teammates from Florida State. I like that. And it seems like in general, they just went crazy defense there. Did pick up Blake Corum out of Michigan in case Kyron Williams randomly had a foot injury. So yeah, it's kind of like if they stay healthy again for me with the Rams, but they're already not staying healthy. I do think bringing in Jimmy Garoppolo, that should be, that's solid as far as backup stuff. But yeah, and Tre'Davious White. Okay. I think they should be. Where are you at with their defense overall? I mean, it's tough to really compute what this team's going to look like without Aaron Donald.
Yeah, I was doing like triple checking because I was noticing that our boy over at Our Lads maybe not up to speed on the quarterback depth chart there in Los Angeles. Yeah, I would say my biggest takeaway would be they're aware of the defensive issues. They went out, they signed cornerbacks, they drafted defensive linemen. The defense already wasn't great last year. They were carried by the offense. We saw the offense was able to tolerate a little bit of injury from Cooper Kupp, but Puka stayed healthy. Higbee got hurt. The running back stayed mostly healthy, and they were able to hold it down. But because Stafford stayed healthy, Stafford now one more year closer to retirement. Whatever this contract, whatever happened this year with his extension, feels a little bit like a wink, wink, nod, nod. I'll retire to get you guys off the hook if you just bump me some more of this cash up into the next year. And again, like they are the single team that I point to and say regression is going to hit them hard. I think what Aaron Donald brings to a defense, you almost can't quantify. And so if they were only slightly below average with Aaron Donald last year, I have no idea what they're going to look like this year. I have no faith that they can do anything. I don't know anything about Chris Shula. Shout out to Chase Blackburn. You mentioned the special teams. He was, he made some heroic plays for my Giants. So the key one you may remember was a downfield defense of Mr. Rob Gronkowski in the Super Bowl. And as far as I can tell, Mike LaFleur is the LaFleur that didn't get it.
He missed the coaching gene.
I mean, what his Jets offenses intrigue you? Like, I feel like he's one of these guys that keeps getting jobs because he's friends with McVay, Shanahan, and his last name is LaFleur. And so if I remove, and they generally don't draft, and they just got like, they literally were the guys that played craps for the first time. Or were like, oh, we rolled for like an hour. This game's great. We got to go back tomorrow and play for more money. They got a ton of draft picks this year. I like some of the picks. I like some of the players they brought in.
Yeah.
I just don't think it's possible they can hit on the same hit like they did last year. And I don't think it's possible they'll still stay healthy like they did last year.
It does feel like last year was that year, right? You get the surprise year from Nacua. Cooper Kupp, while he's out, still very productive. You get to face the Lions in a playoff game, ultimate revenge spot. You get that last year of Aaron Donald. You get a great year from Kobe Turner. It did kind of feel like last year was last year, but I mentioned this on VSiN, noted pretty boy, Sean McVay. He had options. If he thought this roster was completely cooked, he was under no obligation to return to this team. Like, he could have just said, "Hey, I'm going to go."
Someone probably talked some sense into him. Was like, "Hey,
I'm going to take a year off, do some TV, and
go to Thailand."
The NFL, if he retired or if he left the Rams, I don't think anyone would have been upset. It would have been fine. Like, I don't think he would have caught a ton of grief, and he would have been welcome to come back as a head coach at any point and pick a new spot and pick a new job. So to me, I guess that's a sign for optimism. McVay's looked at this roster and said, "Hey, I think there's enough here that warrants me coming back as a head coach."
I think it's Stafford. I think he probably had a conversation with Stafford and said, "Are we going to do this for another year?" I certainly think they're tied at the hip. McVay knows what it's like to be with a guy that isn't like Stafford.
Yeah.
AKA a young Jared Goff. And
well, and in the same reason I like Sean Payton, because he's only his worst season ever was 7-9. I mean, as much as we bust on Sean McVay, he's been coach 7 years, 5 of those years double-digit wins, and then a 9-7 year there, and then 2022 where they were 5-12. Again, kind of worst case scenario. Completely, it was the year after the Super Bowl. Tons of injuries. The bottom fell out, but
feel like this could be that though.
Yeah,
because last year we had like a very fragile situation, and we hit on everything.
Yep.
This year, even the injury to Cooper Kupp didn't seem to really affect a ton. And then this year, like if any sort of regression to injury or just in just player development, being able to hit so quickly on some rookies. Again, the reason you can absorb we were right. Cooper Kupp gets hurt. We didn't expect Puka to be that good that quickly, and that's what essentially helped the offense kind of deal with that speed bump. So. Yeah, I mean, look, if they hit on these pass rushers and they hit on the players they've drafted, I mean, you just look at their depth chart. There are so many rookies on the depth chart. Which shout out to our lads, really like how they highlight in orange, but it's just a lot, and it shows and when you look at the top line guys, there's not a ton of guys who are, prime guys, who are going to lead it. Like the defense, I wonder who's the leader of this defense. How is that going to go? What's it going to be like filling in? So again, the defense, if the defense drops to being one of the worst in the league, and the offense goes from being top 10 to outside the top 10 because of a couple injuries,
a pretty low floor. And the fact that they're already getting these injuries now, it's starting to scare me off.
Well, and then what happens if the quarterback gets hurt?
Well, and again, like
Stetson Bennett, Jimmy G gonna. Imagine those two going out for a night.
Well, yeah, look out, town. Teams that exceed their win total by at least 2 games the prior season have gone over their win total only 42% of the time the next season. So they drastically exceeded expectations last year. Now they're running it back, and they're right up there with.
I would say though them over producing last year was more about them just not having to deal with any significant injuries and like rookies contributing.
Yeah.
And so one could argue that's a repeatable thing. I don't know if the injuries are, but certainly the player development could be. Yeah. I don't think bringing in a guy like Jimmy G is a good thing though.
Really? Why not?
He's whatever is wrong, whatever he has caused the Raiders to put him on a different practice field, or maybe it was the Niners,
the 49ers.
There was some weird stuff with the Raiders though too. Then I just don't. He doesn't strike me as a guy that's going to come in and like help the locker room get better. Don't you want on some level? I get it. You probably need a guy to play quarterback.
Yeah,
but
I think actually he is a statue like Stafford, and that maybe McVay sees something in that system.
Yeah, but Stafford is one of the best quarterbacks of our lifetime in terms of not giving a fuck and ripping.
Stafford, that's why Stafford's the starting quarterback and Jimmy G's the backup. I'm not trying to compare them. I'm just saying if you're looking for a guy to hang in the pocket, I think Jimmy G's okay.
Jimmy G's like a poor man's Jared Goff now. Sean McVay is just asking for punishment there.
All right, let's get into the schedule before we do our scheduled time to chat about underdog fantasy. Love some underdog fantasy. Getting in on the best ball mania, the pick'em. Just fired off some pick'em right now, Ryan. Some little baseball pick'em. Get a little day sweat going. We'll be giving out some of our favorite underdog season long higher lowers. They got it going for the Olympics, MLB, golf. Basically, the premier lacrosse league, anything you want to get down on, Underdog Fantasy has you covered. And again, it is the best way to play fantasy. You don't want to be drafted, managing leagues. That's a huge pain in the ass. Just best ball is the only way to do it. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN, deposit match up to $250 in bonus cash. That's UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code SGPN. We're also brought to you by Circus Sports and their amazing contest, the Circa Millions and the Circus Survivor, where they're giving away 16 million guaranteed. You know, Derek is a man of his word, which means 16 million going to the players. Zero rake. That's right. Sign up in Nevada, play from anywhere. And of course, go to contest proxy.footballcontest.com. Use our promo code SGP. Say hi to Vegas Maddie. He'll hook you up and be your proxy for the season. You get the $50 off. Nice little discount there, and they got you covered. 16 million in guaranteed prizes. I know we're going to be in the millions. We're going to be in the Survivor. We're also going to be out there in Vegas signing up in person August 22nd through the 24th, contest weekend. Our show is going to be out there. Bunch of other shows, bunch of open bar events. Great time, great excuse to come out to Las Vegas, sign for the contest, get all your futures in, say hi to us, have some cocktails, enjoy Vegas, and enjoy circusports.com.
Yeah, if you're not enjoying Vegas, that's on you. That's how I would say that.
Yeah. No one's Vegas does the heavy lifting.
Sometimes you see people, being there a lot, you can kind of tell what's going on, and you see the people getting in some sort of argument. It's like, you're in Vegas. What are you arguing about?
Yeah, come on. Enjoy. Don't make plans. Just let Vegas happen.
Yeah, please don't make plans. All right, Sean.
Yes. Take a look at the numbers here. Win total 8.5. Make playoffs plus 100. Miss playoffs minus 120. Division plus 330. Conference 15-1. Super Bowl 30-1.
They're certainly being. I mean, we were recently talking about the Chargers and the Jags, two other 8.5 total teams, and this. Yeah, I don't know. For some reason, they just seem expensive to me. Relative even to those teams. So again, laid out the case, it seems like we would need to run it back with just avoiding any sort of catastrophic injury to any sort of important position. And, another one of these schedules where you're going to hear a lot of people talk about how many games the Rams are favored. It certainly explains the juice on the total being minus 155 to the over, adjusted almost to a full 9. And I think as you go through the schedule, what can be framed as a easy schedule. I think some metrics, our sheet has it as the second easiest. I know some metrics have it as the easiest schedule. And you add in all of these situations where they're favored. They have 9 home games versus 8 road games.
Yep.
A lot of reasons to be optimistic.
Well, and also too, like as we go along with these team previews, Ryan, I think we also have to, at least me, be cognizant. Like, I can't fade everyone in the NFC West. I know you are high on the Cardinals. I'm not quite as high on the Cardinals. Not super high on Seattle.
Well, I can tell you, you had 9 wins for you, 11 wins for me for the Cardinals, and for the Seahawks, 6 wins for me, 6 wins for you. So we're kind of in a similar position here. You maybe
I got some wins to give away.
You have a couple wins to give away here, but again, my what I was going to get to eventually is I find for a schedule that has some certain aspects to it that can be framed very easy. I think it does have some harder elements to it. Let's go through it. Another schedule, another team that starts 3 road games out of 4.
Yeah. How does this work?
I know it doesn't. It seems like just use AI to make the schedule. NFL, come on. At Detroit, at Arizona, San Francisco at home, at Chicago. Every time I see a Chicago number, I think that just seems like Chicago's getting a lot of respect, but. This is actually an interesting matchup to me. I'm gonna split the divisional games, even though I know McVay gets noogied by Shanahan more than he doesn't. Well,
this one's tough because I think if they beat the Lions, that makes that Cardinals game that much tougher, right? And if they lose the Lions, then I kind of like them against the Cardinals because I think having that instant revenge game. Week 1, you're going to be Sunday Night Football. They're going to be jacked up, and then it's going to be a tough spot to go back, go home, and then get up for a road game at the Cardinals. Although I do think they're going to be able to throw in the Cardinals back end. So this to me, I think 2-2 pretty easily. I mean, I certainly worry a little bit about the 49ers matchup to your point, but I think they could win 2 of those 3 road games, or if not, just win one of the road games and win their home game. So 2-2 feels pretty realistic.
I'm just gonna keep the trend. I'm gonna split the divisional games. Not going to overthink it.
Ryan just grabbed a bunch of papers. What's going on, Ryan?
I have a little schedule note here. I made a little manual notation on a piece of paper. I just wanted to double check it. So yeah, 2-2,
2-2.
because you think the Bears game is gettable, or because you think?
Yeah, I think the Bears are gettable. I think 49ers are gettable, and I think I don't think they'll win both those road games. I think they'll win one of those.
Actually, I think I got to go 1-3.
Really?
Yeah. But I'm splitting. No, I'm splitting the division game. I can't not split it. Can I have the Niners sweep the Rams because they feels like they do it every year?
Yeah, it's your prediction, Ryan.
Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. 0-4.
You tell me. You tell me.
Jesus. 0-4.
0-4. Wow. All right. I mean the offensive line. If the offensive line is bad and banged up, I mean that matchup against the 49ers is going to be brutal. Even the Bears have a bunch of good guys. Aiden Hutchinson and the Lions defensive line, like they're going to have their hands full if this offensive line doesn't get healthy. But between now and when the season starts,
oh, this is all right. No, I should split it 1-3, 1-3, 1-3. I said I was going to do this the whole season. All right, next up,
this is Ryan's brain in a nutshell.
Packers week 5, week 6 bye. Raiders at home, Vikings at home on Thursday night, and at Seahawks. So the Seahawks will be I'll give them the loss. And then
I think 3-1 here. I think these are teams they match up well against. I mean, I guess the Packers game is concerning if their defense has issues, and Packers certainly will bring a crowd. I don't think the Raiders are good. Ryan and I disagree on that. But then Vikings at home Thursday night, and they got a shot to beat Seattle. So I'll say 3-1.
I don't see this team winning 3 straight games. 2-2.
Okay,
they're going to drop one of those. The Raiders will have the crowd in Los Angeles. I'm just going to be super high on the Raiders. 2-2. All right. Then we have Dolphins Monday Night Football at Patriots, Eagles at home on Sunday Night Football.
You're going to lose that one.
Are you going to be at that one?
Yeah, why not? Beautiful SoFi Stadium, one of the best football stadiums in the world.
Open air stadium, Sean.
Open air stadium
At Saints. Yeesh.
So I think
this is tricky.
They can beat the Saints and the Patriots. I'm out on the Saints.
I don't know that this is a better roster than the Saints. I think the quarterbacks and the coach.
I think
big
much
equalizer,
better coached. Yeah,
but they are running a similar offensive system this year.
Yeah, no, I mean that's fair. If you want to say they lose to the Saints, that's fine. I don't have them losing to the Patriots, and I think they could beat the Dolphins. I don't think they're going to beat the Eagles. So 2-2,
1-3.
Wow, you are cold. 4-8, Ryan. I got them 7-5.
Bills at Niners on Thursday night. At Jets, Jesus Christ,
that's a brutal schedule.
Cardinals and Seahawks. So those are going to be 2 wins.
Yeah,
1 loss based on my division stuff, and I don't know if they're winning those other games.
2-3, and maybe it's 3-2, but to me it doesn't impact the win total, so I'm not going to fret over it. But 2-3.
The Rams,
Bills Mafia is going to take it over, and then at the 49ers on a short week's impossible. Jets on the East Coast when it's cold, that's not a great spot for them. But then they close it with home games against Cardinals in Seattle.
They lose. I think they close out the season with 2 wins, assuming Stafford hasn't been knocked out for the year. So 2-3.
2-3. Okay.
Maybe I go. Yeah, 2-3.
So Ryan, you officially have the Rams 6-11.
Yeah. Would love to bet 4th place. I can't find a 4th place market. Throw it on the sheet. I want Rams 4th place. To me, their floor, as much as I did not like the Seahawks going through that schedule, I think the Rams have an equally low floor, if not lower.
What's the playoffs for the Rams?
Playoffs is even money.
Yeah, I'll just take the over. 8.5 wins. I think there is a chance they could win the division. I think this team does have some upside, but Ryan, it does rely on a similar formula of last year of all these vets staying together, staying healthy, and getting some contributions early from some young guys. So, yeah, is it possible? Certainly. I don't know if I don't know.
Their ceiling is last year, right?
I don't know if their ceilings last year. What were they? They were 9-8 last year, or no, they were 10-7.
Yeah. What? How? I
But
don't see how you could get past last year for their ceiling because they're losing one
They
of the
could be-
greatest defensive players in the history of the game.
That's true. I mean, you're right. I think 10-7.
He's worth games. Do we agree? Aaron Donald is worth a win or two on the season.
So going from 10-7 to 9-8 to me feels like it makes sense. But again, I'm going to be keeping an eye on these offensive line injuries, especially for week 1, and especially as the season goes along. Because if you're able to pressure Matt Stafford, it's going to be a long season here for the Los Angeles Rams. Ryan, have you signed up with Rhythm? If not, what are you waiting for? sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm, your place for AI picks, props. They already got some sides and totals for college football and the National Football League. I'm looking at, I know they like the Steelers, Ryan, as well. Week 1, nice price there. They even think the Jags, September 23rd, up in Buffalo. They suggest you fire on that money line. Again, they have their own rhythm. They have their own models. But if you if you want to build your own model, basically selecting the stats, the things that are important to you, you can have them generate your own NFL college football betting model, which is super fun. Love using Rhythm. It's been great. Can't wait to use it for props all NFL season long. Just go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. Get you covered there with a 7-day free trial. Here you go. August 31st, little college football action. UConn versus Maryland. They love UConn +21. They think that has a cover probability of 67.4%. If you're betting college, especially, get in on these early games now. These lines will move. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/RITHMM. We're also brought to you by Game Time, your go-to app for last minute tickets. GameTime.co or download the Game Time app. Use promo code SGPN for $20 off. Phillies are playing the Dodgers. Maybe I'll just fire up Game Time app, get some last minute tickets. Dodgers, Phils. Again, not just baseball games. I went and saw Dead. If you're looking for a mind melting performance, I suggest going to see the Dead at the Sphere. They're going to be out in Las Vegas. I think it's the last week of shows coming up here. Maybe after Bet Bash seminar, sneak off to go see the Dead and company once again. And I don't have to worry about my tickets. I can just fire up the Game Time app, get some last minute tickets, and you get that $20 off when you use the promo code SGPN at GameTime.co. Okay, Kramer, let's talk best bets here for your Los Angeles Rams. I'll tell you one I like.
I would, put 4th place on there. I don't know what the price is going to be, but I'd imagine it's going to be juicy enough.
So I do like the over 8.5 wins. I'm also
really,
because the more I think about it, I'm how far down I am on Seattle, and I'm sure I'm not going to give San Francisco 13 or 14 wins. I have a feeling I might be have a little glass of haterade on that one. Although we'll see if Katie's on the episode, I can only be so mean. So I think that
I think you guys have turned into rivals.
I think the Rams are the benefactors of that. I'll take a small sprinkle on Kobe Turner, Defensive Player of the Year at 300 to 1. Coming off a 9-sack rookie season. If he gets up to, if he builds off of what he did last year, sure, playing next to Aaron Donald certainly makes it way easier. But I do like Kobe Turner, Defensive Player of the Year, 300 to 1. Kramer, any other futures you like? What are we doing here?
You got me down for 4th place.
I got you down for 4th place. I got you down for the under 8.5 wins.
All right, so I think the first place I'm going to look to is, and maybe I should save this for the Niners episode. You know what? I'll save noted here. They're going to get swept by the Niners again. You can somehow bet that at even money.
Really?
Yeah. I thought the same thing. So you can throw that on the sheet right after 4th place. I do think if I was optimistic on them, I'd probably be looking to shoot the moon, like I guess you are with Kobe Turner, or maybe you're looking to play Jared Verse, or Fiske at Rookie of the Year. Maybe
what are their prices?
Maybe let's see here. I think you want if you're gonna play it. So Verse is 11-1, Fiske is 50-1. I think you probably play both in some ratio. Just to have, you don't want to be on the wrong guy on the defensive line that ends up winning it. I'm not really interested in that. There's not a ton of angles I like with the Rams, because to me it's more about them not being good this year. And in a weird way, I think they have this kind of super wide range of outcomes where, like we were saying, I do think you could talk me into their ceiling being decently high. If everything goes right again and the defensive players are fine, good enough, and the offense is elite. The problem is like you mentioned, there's already injuries to Puka. We don't really know what the Kyron Williams thing is going to lead to, which let's jump over to underdog, because that is one of the plays that I really like this year.
Okay.
So Kyron Williams, I understand you can look at his efficiency last year. Very efficient running back. I think it was like 5 yards per attempt, tons of touchdown efficiency. He only had like 230 carries, Sean. So even with Blake Corum coming in, you could maybe make a case he's going to have a similar workload. But whatever's going on with his foot is probably what led them to drafting Blake Corum. This is not a team that needed running backs.
Yeah,
they could have definitely used that. Was it a second, third round pick on something a little bit more premium than a running back? And so what this tells me is that they're very worried about his ability to stay healthy once again. And that the idea that Kyron Williams is going to be able to get to in a year last year where he had a like we just discussed, he had a solid year. Number of carries was 228, and he ran for 1144 in yards, which outside of Christian McCaffrey, the most efficient rusher of the ball, and Jahmyr Gibbs actually a little further down. So if he takes a small step back there, you mentioned some offensive line problems.
Yeah.
And then Blake Corum takes over some of that workload, and maybe he loses a couple carries. The idea last year, he ran for 1144. This year they're totaling him just short of 1,000 at 975.5. Again, the reason he had a great fantasy year was touchdown efficiency, especially touch efficiency, but mainly the scoring. And so we're going to take lower on Kyron Williams.
All right, I'm going to co-sign that.
975.5. They little disappointed with the selection on the Rams here. Not anything on the defensive side of the ball, and not even a full menu on our boy Stafford. So yeah, I think it's an easy fade. I do think there is something wrong. I do think whether it's by injury or just limiting him to try to keep him healthy, he's not going to see a hefty workload, and I'd be surprised if he reached the volume or the efficiency achieved last year.
A couple of these division stat leaders, which I really enjoy this market. Matt Stafford, most passing touchdowns in the division. What do you think that's at, Ryan?
Well, so he had better be the favorite one. As much as I love Kyler.
Oh, he's not.
Brock Purdy's favored.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, that's a good touchdowns or yards.
Touchdowns.
Okay.
Yards, he is favored.
Oh, all right.
He's plus 110 for yards. He's plus 230 for passing touchdowns.
Yeah, I mean, there's probably some correlation there, and especially, I think part of the reason those odds are out of whack is because of how many touchdowns they scored on the ground last year as well. Certainly, again, playing a ceiling case here. If Stafford stays healthy, pretty unlikely for it. Seems likely it's a 2-horse race between him and Purdy for these counting stats.
Yeah.
Although I love Kyler Murray. So how do you not like those prices?
Well, and then another one off of this, and even if Stafford misses a couple games, I think if Jimmy G came in, this guy wouldn't miss a beat. Obviously, Puka's already dealing with a knee injury, but Cooper Kupp, most receiving yards in the division, you can get that at 6-1. I still think he's got a little gas left in the tank. I like that at 6-1. Brandon Ayuk might not even be in the division. The way things are going.
Who are the favorites for that? Do you have that?
Yeah, I have that. What do you think what do you think, Ryan? Who are the favorites?
It's interesting.
Puka's the favorite.
Yeah, that makes sense.
DK Metcalf.
That's not
Marvin Harrison Jr., who is a rookie.
But that actually makes like to me volume.
Yeah,
Volume.
but Cooper Kupp at 6-1. I mean, I like that a lot,
especially with the current injury. I would imagine that price maybe has even come.
I don't know.
Out of it.
I don't know if it's changed that much, and we'll see how serious the Puka injury ends up being. But the fact they say week to week, to me, that's always a bit of a red flag there. So,
all right. So we went through the schedule, and I first said 0-4 in that beginning stretch, and then I got talked into a win
by yourself, not me.
Yeah. I do think there's a chance that this team starts very slow.
Oh, okay.
You can get
last
them
winless.
Well, so
or do you go 0-5? Well, how are you playing it?
Well, so let's talk about that because let's see, the last winless team market. Actually, let's stick with this. The Rams' last winless team is 20-1. Rams to go 0-5 is plus 950. Now, after that fifth game is where it gets tough and they're favorite. Actually, you know what? Give me Rams start 0-5 plus 950.
Okay,
that's the better bet.
Because there's some bad teams. I mean, the Carolina Panthers just lost Xavier Legette,
but they also like
for how long?
The Rams in week 6. It goes from they have a bye week, so the first 5 games, and then bye week 6, then Raiders, Vikings, Seahawks. I feel like that them getting a
and
win
then also
there.
too, honestly, last winless team, you might even there's a decent chance you'll chop that anyway. So
you're saying I should play both?
No, I think I rather would play the 0-5.
Yeah.
To me, because then
because if you chop the last winless, it's same
going to be
price.
I mean, it would be like, let's say there's 3 or 2, then you're probably you're not getting those 20-1 anyway.
Are you looking at any offensive player of the year markets then? Again, if you're high on them, I do think you should look at that, right? Can Stafford win the MVP?
I don't know.
But you don't like make playoffs.
Yeah, no, I'm not going to fire on that. I'm just going to keep it at over wins.
So minus 155 over 8.5 versus plus 100 make playoffs.
Okay. Yeah. I guess with the juice being that heavy, I'll throw and make playoffs at plus 100 because no one's going to be playing Are
you sprinkling is the division doesn't seem like a great price.
Yeah. I mean, I think they could win the division, but I would want like 4-1, 5-1, the 3-1 isn't super intriguing. I mean, Cooper Kupp 60-1 offensive player of the year. Nacua's 30-1. I think that difference is crazy. You know what? Yeah, Cooper Kupp offensive player of the year 60-1. What, you don't like that, Ryan?
Nah, I don't.
Well, you don't like the Rams, so I shouldn't ask your. I don't think Nacua should be half the odds of Cooper Kupp.
No, the Cooper Kupp is getting old.
Yeah, but where is Cooper Kupp going in drafts?
Puka's probably first round. Cooper Kupp going 4th round, 3rd to 4th round.
So, I mean, I think for you to win offensive player of the year, you have to essentially be a 1st round fantasy pick.
Yeah.
Looking back on the season, I think.
If we're not you should have been basically a top 8 receiver.
Yeah, at the very least. I think Kupp has that ceiling in him. So yeah, I'll throw that on there. Coach of the year, don't want, and then the Kobe Turner and Cooper Kupp, those are plenty fine for the long shots. I'm lukewarm on this team, but I think there's some fun upside stuff. And I'm with you on the Kyron Williams thing. I think the fact that Underdog is projecting him to have 975.5, I think is crazy.
One thing I would point out is if I thought the Rams could be scrappy on off, or like if I thought the Rams were going to stay healthy on offense, I might look to play them in the points market too.
You love that market, Ryan. I don't have a good handle on the
guess
points
who
market.
Guess who opened a points market since I started chirping. DK has got the full menu now.
Oh, okay, nice.
Point totals, most least points. They've had those, but they have the point totals now. So shout out to them for getting off the schneid.
All right, let's recap our best bets. And we got Tampa Bay Bucks coming up tonight. If you're watching live, youtube.com.
We're shipping some
Sports
cash.
Gambling Podcast.
We're shipping some cash tonight.
I feel like I'm slightly.
What happened, Sean?
I don't know. Maybe I've lost my Baker
Who
boner
you
a little bit.
who are you reading? Who are you talking to?
I got the Rams 10-7. Kramer got him 6-11. We both like the Kyron Williams lower 975.5. I'm on make playoffs there because of the juice. Kobe Turner, defensive player of the year, fun. I put $10 on it. Maybe you win $3,000. Stafford, most passing touchdowns in the NFC West, plus 230. Cooper Kupp, most receiving yards in the NFC West, 6-1. Cooper Kupp, offensive player of the year, 60-1. Kramer drinking that tall glass of Haterade, 0-5 start, plus 950. 0-2 against the Niners, plus 100. Rams fourth place and under 9.5 wins.
What do you think that fourth place is going to pay? Like 4-1?
Yeah, probably
something like that.
Ryan, what was the? Although Seattle and Arizona's win totals are relatively high.
Sure, but they're still 2 teams in their division beneath them.
Yeah,
Seattle at 7.5, Arizona at 6.5. Some 7s out there.
thanks to Joe checking in the chat saying hashtag UFL Jeff sucks.
Can you believe it? This guy, they're stealing money from the U.S. Army.
Rock ain't giving any of that money back, but don't give it to UFL Jeff. Kramer, what was
They did separate mutually. It was a mutual decision for Jeff to be fired.
They both decided.
We both decided
we should get fired. Kramer, what was this episode's word of the phrase that pays?
Well,
you
know how I remember that?
Because you corrected me and said good.
Well water.
Oh, okay.
LA, extremely underrated drinking water.
Top tier drinking water. All right. Thank you everyone for tuning in. We'll be back talking Tampa Bay Bucks as our 32 NFL team previews. Spread the word. Toss us a nice rating review. I know a lot of people just getting back in the saddle for football season. Always appreciate the reviews. Even if you already reviewed it once, toss a nice new review. Toss us 5 stars over on the old Spotify. Always appreciate that, and appreciate telling a friend. That's really how this thing grows and works.
Thank you for participating in the Sports Gambling Podcast.
For Sports Gambling Podcast, I'm Sean, stacking the money green. He's Ryan.
I love to just ram it.
Kramer, let it ride.